Give me a sec. Sandali lang muna, sandali. Okay, welcome everyone. Today, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our virtual conversation dubbed as Reimagining Nursing Series 2000. My name is Jerome Babate of the Nursing for Humanity based in Sydney, Australia. And I'm the host and moderator of this event. This event is organized by the Nursing for Humanity in partnership with Beta Nu Delta Nursing Society, Visayas State University College of Nursing, Filipino Nursing Diaspora Network. 2020 is not the year our nursing education leaders envisioned. Many of their plans have been turned upside down and there's still change and uncertainty ahead. COVID-19 thrust our school communities into a rapid transition to remote learning, which affected almost every facet of school-based education. Understanding the effect on our school students and nurse educators is crucial as we begin to reconfigure our ideas of what education may look like in a post-COVID-19 world. For all nurse educators, the shift to remote teaching meant a rapid change to alternate modes of teaching and learning. This time, we would like to connect with our esteemed nursing deans in the Philippines for the session on Reimagining Nursing 2020 series. While COVID-19 brought about a period of great uncertainty, the rapid shift seen across education providers, nursing schools, shows us how education might be reimagined in the future. Dean Joel Acob of the Visayas State University College of Nursing is co-moderating with me in this event. Welcome, Dean Joel Acob.
Our colleague and siblings, the profession of nursing, the deans of the different colleges of nursing in the Philippines. So for this afternoon, we will just be sharing our thoughts. We have a guide questions for us to share with, and wherein we can have a springboard perhaps of our future endeavor as we go on with trying with these trying times. So before I go further, let me introduce and welcome our friends who are on board right now. I may start with the Dean of the College of Nursing of St. Anthony College, Antique. We have Professor Aris Kendall Bongabong. Dean, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, thank you for joining. We also have Professor Elmer Urgania, the Dean of Notre-Dame of Tacurong College, Tacurong City, Sultan Kudarat. Dean Urgania, welcome.
Sir, good afternoon, everyone.
Okay. We also have Dr. Jean Gilasper, our Dean of Nursing from Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology in Cabanatuan City. Dr. Jean, thank you for joining.
Good afternoon.
Okay. And we also have Dr. Evelyn Del Mundo, the Dean of Babate State University from Indang, Cavite. Hello, Doctor.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, and last but not least, we have Professor Naima Mala, the Dean of the College of Health Sciences in Mindanao State University main campus in Marawi City. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, and also to Sir Jerome. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
Okay.
Dean Joel.
So our discussion will last perhaps for maximum 45 minutes. And as I've said earlier, we have some questions prepared and we may share thoughts about it. So anyone can feel or may have the freedom to respond or to share your thoughts. Okay, so we said we now go to the new normal. For myself, I don't have the option but to cope with this new normal, especially on the landscape of nursing education. So as Dean, what is the first thing you plan to do post-COVID? Anyone from the circle?
May I, sir?
Yes, yes, Dean.
Good afternoon, sir. First, I will go to church. I will pray for keeping my family safe, of course, and for giving me again the opportunity to serve the people in the community as well. Sa amin kasi sa mga SUC or SUC, sir, lagi naming sinasabi, especially dito sa College of Nursing namin, sa NAUST, pag mababa na or down na yung energy namin, lagi kong sinasabi, okay guys, para sa bayan.
Yeah. I think we all miss the church, especially on the crowded places where everyone can actually
Yes.
hear us. Yeah.
Yeah.
About for Dr. Mala. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are recognized.
Yes. Once again, good afternoon. For me, I think aside from what the previous speaker said, that to pray, to be thankful because, yes, sir, because we are still alive. I think the first thing that I have to do as the dean after this pandemic is to reassess what had happened during the pandemic, and then what we can do to improve more our performance as a College of Nursing. I think that's the first thing that I have to do, to reassess and then have a measures to do what to do in improving the performance of the college. That's all. Thank you.
May I
Yeah,
just add?
that's
Yes, may
yes.
I add as well.
Yes.
This, as what Dean Mala had said, I would like to continue in supporting the faculty members and staff mental health, leftover effects of isolation. So I know that trying to get back in a regular work routine can be tough. So it's important to know how to assess faculty members and employees. So maybe I can collaborate with the other department like the College of Psychology, wherein we can ask help to the experts in promoting this mental health among our colleagues. And I will really value the human touch or the coming of, let's say, because of this pandemic, we were not able to have this or touching each other. So maybe after the COVID-free period, I can return with some of my loved ones and friends and relatives, visiting them, and hugging them, something like that, in order for me to really be keeping in touch with them, something like that.
I just
Yeah.
answer.
Yes, yes, sir.
So I believe that there's no going back. The new normal now will be the normal in the future. What I will be doing will be to reflect on the journey, the challenges and opportunities that COVID had created, and from there we can create better strategies, deliver better, uh, uh, to deliver better to our future clients or students later.
Yeah. Yes, sir, Aries.
Okay, so in addition to what Dean Elmer said, no, that although COVID will be somehow controlled, but we can no longer go back to our previous situation. Even though we'll get vaccine, COVID will already be part of our day-to-day living. So the first thing that I will need to do is to ensure that we are able to develop our learning continuity plan, so that we can evaluate what were the some of the limitations, no, of our curriculum. So it would involve the holistic approach, no, in terms of dealing with the teaching learning of our nursing students. At the same time, we are going to ensure that our nursing education is resilient, so that when another pandemic, no, will occur, we can adapt better compared to what happened.
Yeah. So I all agree with you, deans, no? And I've heard about collaboration being the new language in caring, perhaps this time, and at the same time, reassessing or revisiting if we are still salient and significant with our current structure of nursing education. And so with all this, what practices perhaps can educators at your nursing school share about how best to promote learning in an online environment? Because we're perhaps gearing towards this new normal and we have this online virtual classrooms. And how are we preparing for that? Do you now observe existence of best practices from our faculty, from our co-educators in the academe?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Elmer.
So initially, sir, we conducted a survey to assess the readiness of our faculty and students and the availability of gadgets and internet connection. And after that, we aligned that in our learning continuity plan, and we designed a student-friendly learning management system in our school. And this time we are training our teachers how to operate the learning management system. And at the same time, we are also creating modules which can be sent through online or printed for those students who cannot have really have online access. And of course, the institutional support is very important during this time. And I believe that all school consider this uh, as the role of the administrators are very important to become successful in this transition.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a again LMS management, development of module, training for our, I mean the capacity training for our colleague. What else? Aside from those mentioned,
May I, sir?
yes, Dr. Jean.
Yes, sir. So, like Sir Organya is said a while ago, we also created a learning management system. Since SUC nga kami, limited yung budget so far. So, by means of Moodle, our management information system created our own learning management system that can be considered as student-friendly kasi it can be opened through smartphones na ang kaya siyang patakbuhin or i-open 1 Mbps ng internet connection. So although I guess this is a big challenge to all of us, alam ko lahat ng state universities and colleges and higher education institution is now venturing in learning management system. But in our case, this is not that new since we also utilize learning management system before, yung mga free such as Schoology and Google Classroom. But of course, we need to consider some of our faculty members that they need to be trained kasi may mga faculty tayo na medyo in their senior years. So kailangan din natin silang suportahan eh. Yun ang isang malaking challenge sa ating lahat. So in addition to that, one of the things that we are trying to do is, although may bias ako sa side na to, no, our clinical instructors who have pleasing personality, sila yung pinag-record ko ng mga nursing procedures. And then it will be converted into a file na pwedeng i-open din sa cellphone para ma-encourage yung mga student na panoorin at matapos yung mga nursing procedures and steps na kailangan gawin in replacement dun sa face-to-face learning natin.
So that's a good a practice from
Yes,
Dr. Jean's side. Okay, and I appreciate that as well kasi pwede siyang I don't know kung if I may use the word, pwede siyang magaya with the other
Yeah.
deans. So it can be kasi nga sinabi natin kanina that we really have to uplift or to support each other para survive natin yung system ngayon. And considering that this first semester, parang trial and error pa din siya kahit no matter how we prepared for this, if not all nag-adapt na with the online system of learning.
Yes po.
Kasi yung iba, this is the first time na parang gagawin nila ito. So, we really have to see, no? Parang trial and error din yung mangyayari natin sa first sem. Okay, so aside from that, so
May I add, sir?
yes, Dr. Del Mundo.
Uh, may I add that this particular trial and error has been evaluated in our university, wherein we evaluated this mid-year class, although it's quite ongoing, but it's really having some positive and negative effects on this particular online learning, meaning on the part of the students, they are really having some difficulty, particularly we are also a state U. So not all students are having strong connectivity. Actually, in the survey, they really end up with weak or almost no connectivity at all. So it's for the nursing school like us, very hard to deal with, although we don't have yet the classes for the nursing, but for the medical technology and midwifery course, they were able to deal with this mid-year class. And not only with the difficulty in the devices, but also health perspective per se, yung the eyes, and then the sleepless nights that they are experiencing, particularly in coping with the assignments and requirements of this online learning. So positive and negative effects are really coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. So any more?
Can I add,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Yes, I would admit that it would be very, very challenging on our part from Marawi City, because even though there will be gadgets to be used by our students and faculty, but our problem is really the internet connection, because we cannot deny the fact that we are geographically located, isolated. Our location is very isolated. That's why we have a very weak internet connection. That's why our university created a committee to study on these problems. No, so more or less we will go on blended learning also, because the university categorize the students that we have, like category 1 with internet, category 2 those with mix with internet and but weak, and the category 3 is that students and faculty who really don't have a internet. And then we also have problem because, yes, just like other SUC, we are catering students who are belong to a low socio-economic class people. So they have problem even though wala rin silang mga smartphone, okay, laptop. So that's really very, very challenging on the part of the university. So as of now, we are still on blended learning options that we'll be utilizing. So maybe we are looking into consideration also of having a face-to-face classes, considering that we also have very decreased number of case in Marawi City. So that's for the in Marawi City po.
Yeah, I think we all share same perspective with regards to the learning system and the online platform delivering instruction. And one speaker made mention that there are families, no, that do not have access to the internet, or if not, there is poor connectivity or no devices at all at home or in school systems that can provide that. So with all this in mind, what do you see, or how do you see yourself now in terms of sharing resources with others about the experiences that the college is experiencing? I mean, the lessons. What are the lessons that we may share with other around the globe for this type of experiences. Kasi nga gusto nating i-survive yung quality ng education, especially on nursing. Kasi nursing is a board exam, no? Hindi pwedeng i-defeat natin yung purpose kasi these are the people who will be taking care of us in the future when we get old, perhaps. So now as leaders, no, as nursing leaders in our respective field, what are those lessons, especially those for the families na talagang hindi sila capable or wala silang access to online thing?
May I, sir, again? Sorry.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we all know that in this pandemic time, no, gaps in learning is expected naman talaga. We are parang all of us are not prepared for this. So what we can do is to formulate a catch-up plan that we can adapted by the college or the university as well to address the gap. For example, in our university, it is very impossible for us to implement full online learning. Kasi sabi nga natin, di ba, yan ang isang pinakamalaking challenge sa atin, yung internet connection. But specifically din, dun sa nabanggit ni Dean Mala na walang mga smartphones ang kanilang mga estudyante. At kahit naman kami, kahit nasa city kami, some of the students na kadalasan nasa SUC talaga ay financially challenged yan. So, ano yung dapat natin gawin as deans? We need to make a plan to reach out for the students, of course. Yan ang ating primary role. For example, in our university, actually na-touch to kanina ni Sir Organya, we reproduce and distribute modules. We will be reproducing and distributing modules kahit nasa pinakamalayong LGU pa yan. We are doing we are collaborating with LGUs na mag-sign kami ng MOA with them to establish parang learning resource center within the LGU para dun namin ilalagak or iiwan yung mga learning modules ng mga bata at dun nila ipipick up yon para hindi mahirap para sa mga bata. Saan ba namin kukuhanin yung mga modules na to? Paano i-LBC ba namin? Ilang araw siya makakarating? Something like that. So may mga challenges din along that way. So aside from that, na-mention ko kanina na magre-record ng mga nursing procedures and everything. Ilalagay yun sa CD or sa USB or sabi nga natin kanina, if dapat convertible siya na pwedeng i-open sa smartphone lang. Yung mga video recording na yon ay makakatulong sa mga bata somehow. So, if merong challenges, how we can do it, yung pagko-convert ng mga files na yon to be readily accessible in the cellphone. We need also, again, the word is collaborate to the management information system para ma-simplify po kung paano yung paggawa ng mga yon, paano yung mga conversion na yon. Then, we cannot survive kasi if we think that we know everything. So, it is very impossible, sir. So, we need to help each other in all aspects of life, especially this time of pandemic. Tanggapin natin yan sa sarili natin na we cannot live alone this time and kahit pa sa mga susunod na panahon. So, we can work hard or harder, but in this time of pandemic, we need to work the smartest way that we can so that it can help us reach our students. They need us, they need them also, or we need them also. Without the students kasi, we will not be able to be employed by our schools, by the university itself. So, sabi nga natin, we need each other, so we need to help each other. Thank you.
Yeah, so I do agree with that, Dr. Jean. I think that can be summed up when we say that this is our meat and drink. That's why we really have to survive and help them. I think I'll now go with my last question, and I'll give perhaps a minute, each one of you perhaps, on a concluding and more personal note. How are you now as a nursing dean coping? I really have to ask this kasi nga, we are expected to really lead the flock, you know?
Yeah.
How are you coping as deans? Yes, Ma'am Del Mundo?
So I think my positive outlook in life, yun ang reason so I can keep moving forward with this particular pandemic. I have friends, family, and even the faculty members in the college wherein we are really helping each other in order to cope with this particular situation. And I'm just thankful that I get to stay at home and with the my loved ones, of course, wherein we are enjoying our life together, eating together, and watching movies together. So we are really doing a very good experience that we can really be remembering lifetime. So while working at home, ito yung sometimes I feel uh, keep listening to what my body is telling because I'm quite immunocompromised. That's why I'm really looking at on the symptoms that I may have, particularly yung let's say if I will be having some body aches or pain or increasing my blood pressure, my sugar, something like that, and I have really to relieve myself through proper sleep and what we all have to do to make our body more healthy on this particular situation. And also the positive modeling of, let's say, with our colleagues. What the outlook in life that you can share na can really make them feel more, sabihin natin ay wala masyado magiging negativities. So yun lang, giving positive reinforcement to them, acknowledging what they are doing, particularly in this pandemic season wherein you are really not seeing each other most of the time, but actually doing like this. Now we are just seeing the particular pictures that it is from beginning to the end. It is always there looking at you, something like that. So meaning we really have to stay positive on this particular season. Thank you.
Yeah. So I also agree to that, no? Yung family bonding hindi natin nagagawa sa old normal, parang nagagawa na natin ngayon because of COVID. And that's
Yes.
something na nangyayari sa COVID. So hindi siya lahat negative at all. And yeah. Yes, anything, Dr. Professor Aris?
Sir
Okay.
Joel,
So
and
to add
I
up,
meet my
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Maybe,
can I Sir Joel?
yes,
Am I
yes, yes.
recognized?
Yes, yes, no. Go ahead.
Ah, okay. Um, in my case, Sir Joel, okay, I cope up as a dean because we cannot deny the fact that there's a sudden change on our work. Biglang stay at home and then hindi na talaga as a dean. I divert my attention in cooking and then bringing food to our frontliners, and sometimes I also volunteer in our outreach to be part of the team, and then going to the different communities in our areas to have a health teaching regarding COVID. Giving information to the different community in our place just to make use of my time. And then because staying at home, nakaka-depress, di ba? Pag palagi kang nasa bahay, although ando na yung you will have to spend time with your family, but then I feel like I should not stay at home because as a nurse, kailangan din tayo sa community as a frontliner. So that's what I do for almost 4 months that I'm staying at home. Pag wala po, hindi po tayo nag-office kasi on call tayo minsan sa office. What I do is I go to the community and then do health teaching regarding COVID. That's how I cope up as the dean. I bring the academic to the community. Thank you.
So That's one thing. Being other-centered is something that gives positivity in ourselves. So,
Yeah.
yung sarili natin yung iniisip. No, that's a good point, Dr. Mala, and thanks for that sharing. Yes, Dr. Aris. Yeah. After Dr. Aris, may we have Dr. Elmer as well, and Dr. Jean for the final words.
Okay, so for me, I believe that this challenge, is also an opportunity for us to improve our nursing education and for our school to improve the delivery of our nursing program. As a millennial teen, I believe that one of our advantage is our familiarity with the technology. So we are able to easily adapt to the online learning. And I think collaboration is also important. That is what I'm doing. We in ADPC and Region 6, we have meetings to share practices and also so that we could guide other schools in terms of how do we go about, especially during the lockdown. We are in the middle of the semester, and we have students that are lacking the clinical experience in order for graduates. So what we're going to do. So we were able to share our experiences and practices. So positivity is very important. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Dr. Ganya, yes.
Thank you, sir. So this new normal really creates anxiety. And initially in the first 2 weeks during the lockdown, I really had difficulty in adjusting in the new normal. But along the way, I was able to develop a productive routine. I already had my schedule from the time I wake up until I sleep, and I maximize every hour of the day just to do something like doing a research study for my PhD and uh, making myself busy. Whatever I feel I need to do, I do it immediately, and of course create plans. And along this way, we have to be positive also and appreciate the beauty of the difficult situation, the silver lining, and it also creates opportunity. And at the same time, we have to understand that other people are also anxious because of this situation of different levels and different aspects. For some, our students may be uh, anxious because they cannot study, for for their families, the financial aspect, the sources of their income, for our vulnerable group, the elderly, and of course the children, their health. So we really have to understand that each of us has different response to this situation, and somehow we contribute something to make them feel better and able to survive this. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so thank you. Yes, I also agree to that, Dr. Ergania. And I like the word research and elderly or caring. Yeah, I am really into research and more focus on the caring for the elderly clients. Okay, Dr. Jean.
Yes, good afternoon again. In a scale of 1 to 10, sir, my score is
Yeah.
8. Oh, di ba? The other 2 points are my level of stress. So bakit ganun kahit may pandemic, nasa 8 pa din ako? May secret ingredient po kasi dyan. That is our families. So they are the one who boost my energy, especially my husband and my 2 kids. They are my great supporters somehow. Pag nakikita nila na stress na ako, ang panganay ko, 18 years old pa lang, sinasabi niya, Mommy, life is too short. From an 18-year-old, sa kanya ko maririnig, Mommy, life is too short. Nakakunot na naman ang noo mo. So tatawa na ako niyan. What else? As the dean of the college, tayo yung pinanghahawakan ng mga tao natin. So no reason for us to make us feel na hindi tayo dapat maging strong. Pag nakita nila tayo na tayo mismo down, wala, magko-collapse tayo eh. So, even if sa loob-loob natin, pagod na tayo, kailangan nating ipakita pa rin na lively, kailangan nating ipakita na go lang kasi tayo nga yung kinakapitan nila. And on the other note po, of course, yung support ng administration mismo ng university. Our university president, Dr. Feliciana Acoba, has this big faith in me. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. He entrusted the college to me. So there's no reason for me to be lousy na in this time of pandemic, I don't know how to manage in time of crisis. Alam natin yan as nurses na tayo yung magaling doon. So we need to prove to them na hindi sila nagkamali sa pagpili sa atin, na ipagkatiwala yung kolehiyo na yan para manatili pa rin tumatakbo kahit na may ganitong pandemya. And of course, syempre yung allies in the college, yung faculty members mo. Without your faculty members, hindi tatakbo ang kolehiyo. So, yung appreciation, yung palaging pagpapasalamat sa kanila para ma-uplift din yung kanilang mga self-esteem na andito pa rin kami, na sinusuportahan pa din or na-appreciate pa din. Sa isang tao kasi kahit na simpleng bagay lang yung nagawa, yung appreciation yung nagbo-boost doon eh. Minsan nga kahit you need to consider this thing, something like that, para lang hindi sila mawala ng drive to do those things or yung mga bagay na ipinapagawa mo. And of course, I cannot forget to thank, of course, the UST3 or the Department of Science and Technology family, kasi sila yung support system ko for my research area. Sila talaga yung kahit na this time of pandemic, sila yung nakasuporta dun. Even the whole universities, sila yung ang DOST ang nag-boost sa aming research area to continue pa din, somehow to perform the fourfold functions of SUCs.
Yeah, so I really agree to Dr. Jean. If being strong or to sustain strength, if you don't have the option but to remain strong, but you don't have the option, kaya nga, no? So kasi pinagkatiwala ng mga bosses natin yung college.
Walang choice.
Wala tayong choice. Pero I also consider na if you imagine na yung mga strong walls ba, no? Strong walls will shake, no, by the time of earthquake, but it will never collapse because we have each other. We have support. We have our support system, the family members, the faculty, and the like, who are the very foundation, who are the very essential to keep us going and to sustain that strength we have. So amidst this pandemic, we are tested by times. Kasi sabi nga ni Dr. Organia na silver lining, oo. I-mention ko sana kanina pero naunahan niya. But anyway, thank you for that, Dr. Organia. Says, I've learned a lot with a short communication or discussions we have this afternoon. And comments or for some words?
Yeah, thank you very much,
Dr.
Dean.
Jerome,
I was listening to a very interesting conversation with the deans. I'll take note on Dr. Del Mundo's insights on self-care, very important self-care. This has been largely taken for granted by even myself and the rest of the healthcare workers. So yeah, self-care is very important. It should take high priority among the list of things that we have to do. That's the first one. I also take note on Dean Elmer's silver lining. Yeah, a statement on silver lining. I mean, it's all of these things actually. I would like to entertain that there are positive things, okay, that overwhelms the negativities. Not only in our profession, but a whole range of things. So, yeah, that's a good note, Dean Elmer. I also took note on Dean Mala's experience on resilience. I've been reading a lot of things about Marawi and not only the university itself, but you have a lot of problems in that area. Okay, but at least there's a story of resiliency. Okay, and the Marawi citizens have been brave enough to stand amidst all these trials. And for that, I said, kudos to all of you. Dean Mala. Dean Aris made mention also of, and I think Dean, Dr. Girasper, both of them mentioned about best practices. And in particular, Dr. Jean, best practices that they have started with Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. And I think that could be shared with the rest of the state universities in the Philippines. You can be a leader in that field. Dean Aris on a lot of innovations, particularly on teaching modalities and student programs. You are doing great in that aspect. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you on that aspect. And finally, for Dean Acob, thank you very much for co-facilitating this event. Really appreciate your efforts in this, taking your time to work this out. Maraming salamat sa'yo, Dean.
Thank you, sir.